the NBC Montana studios, this is NBC Montana Today.
Good morning, Montana. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Jason Hurst, and as you pour your coffee and make breakfast, let's get you informed and prepared to take on your Wednesday. Coming up, another summer with free meals for Missoula area kids, a look inside the decades-old program and where kids can grab a bite to eat. Plus, a gathering place at Montana Tech is getting a makeover. We dive into the plans and find out what it means for students. And in Butte, the unveiling of a custom banner to honor a local football legend.
With high pressure and control, we are starting off Wednesday on a very nice note. Taking a live look from our Clearwater Credit Union camera in Missoula, we can see those clear skies, 48 degrees right now, and the winds are calm, though we are likely to see those increase as we head later on into this afternoon. Looking at the day planner for the Garden City, 65 degrees at 10 o'clock, up to 81 by 2. As we get to that 4 to 6 o'clock period, we see those winds start to kick up, sustained about 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour. High temperatures in the mid-80s are going to be common. And the big reason for this is the ridge of high pressure that's centered over our region. But you see this trough of low pressure. That is our next weather maker that'll be moving in for the latter parts of this week into the weekend. Let you know what impacts we could see from it coming up here in about 20 minutes.
Free summer meals are back beginning this week at Missoula County Public Schools. NBC Montana's Jacob Owens gives us a look inside the program, feeding kids for over 20 years now.
Kids eat free. That's a message from Missoula County Public Schools this summer, as the district is offering lunch and breakfast at multiple locations each weekday with no questions asked. Alex Senna and her 6-year-old son Leroy took advantage of a free breakfast Tuesday on the program's second day.
I don't have to come in, bring my kids, and they write down my name and they write down my kids' number. You know, they come in, they don't ask you anything, and they give you a free meal. And it's so important for the community.
Kids ages 18 and under eat breakfast and lunch free 5 days a week until August 16th. The 4 sites are Franklin Elementary, Russell Elementary, Lowell Elementary, and Meadow Hill Middle School. Stacy Ross Miller with MCPS says the federal government reimburses the district for the meals. Ross Miller says last summer the district provided roughly 25,000 meals.
Unfortunately, with a lot of our kids, when they leave us in the afternoon, they don't eat until they come back the next day. So over the summer, there's a huge need for those kids to still be able to have something to eat.
Senna works in the Meadow Hill Middle School cafeteria, where lunch is served whether kids have money in their account or not.
And they are worried about coming in, and that should not be something that a child has to worry about. When you come into school, the only thing you should be worrying about is school.
Breakfast this summer will be served from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m., and lunch is ready from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Reporting in Missoula, Jacob Owens, NBC Montana.
In Butte, Montana Tech's courtyard is about to get a major facelift. The university's facilities master plan calls for a redesigned, more accessible courtyard while also fixing longstanding drainage issues. This summer, crews will remove several large trees and repurpose the wood for other projects around campus. Then new landscaping will be put in, and the raised platform on the courtyard will be leveled off to provide ADA accessibility.
This can become a really beautiful place for programming, for creative idea generation, and hopefully we can create some new legacies and new traditions here.
Right now with the raised planters, it really breaks the space up and makes access from building to building a bit problematic, particularly in the winter. So we're going to have more usable space, we'll have more green space, and improved stormwater.
The courtyard renovation has been years in the making and comes as upgrades to nearby main hall and the engineering hall that are already underway. Governor Greg Gianforte announced Marta Bertoglio is the new director of the Montana Department of Commerce. Gianforte says he is confident in her ability to recruit businesses that bring good-paying jobs. And she represented House District 75 in the Montana House of Representatives. She also became a real estate broker and is a veteran of the U.S. Air Force. New this morning from Uptown Butte, one of the mining city's greatest athletes is honored. That's touchdown Tommy Mellott's parents, Shane and Dina, unveiling a custom banner for the Treasure State legend on the court at the Knights of Columbus building on Park Street, with the West Shrine team on hand to take it all in. Mellott has become a household name in Montana as he led the Montana State Bobcats to the national championship game last year and won the Walter Payton Player of the Year award. But it all started in Butte, where he was a three-sport athlete in high school and brought the Bulldogs football team to the state title game in 2019 and was named Gatorade Player of the Year.
For this poster to be down here means a lot, just for these little kids that are going to want to be that kid someday, that Tommy someday, and I just hope they look at that and know that anything is possible for any of those kids.
Mellott, who spoke virtually at the ceremony, is returning to Montana later this week to host camps in the Bozeman area and will then head back to Las Vegas in July as he works to secure a spot on the Raiders' 53-man roster. As loud explosions were heard in Iran, President Trump met with his national security team in the White House Situation Room. Ahead of that, the president sent more military might to the Middle East. So how deeply will the U.S. get involved in the conflict? NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Amid the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran, a pivotal moment inside the White House as President Trump weighs how far to go to help Israel end Iran's nuclear program.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
The president spent Tuesday in the Situation Room with his national security team, calling for Iran's unconditional surrender while considering a range of options, including a possible U.S. strike on Iran, according to administration officials. One of Iran's most critical nuclear enrichment sites is buried deep under a mountain, and destroying it would likely require an American warplane with a massive bunker-busting bomb. Many lawmakers in both parties calling for congressional approval before any military action.
We should have some say-so about it.
If it flew the B-52s, we'd be risking yet another war in the Middle East.
Democratic Senator John Fetterman backing a U.S. strike.
You can never have any real peace in the region, if you allow or Iran is able to maintain a nuclear program.
While the Senate's top Republican holds out hope for a diplomatic solution.
Iran coming to the negotiating table and agreeing to end their nuclear program.
President Trump has for weeks pressed Iran to negotiate a deal, now signaling a possible shift.
They should have done the deal. I told them, do the deal. So I don't know, I'm not too much in the mood to negotiate.
The U.S. has sent more military assets to the Middle East, and U.S. bases are at their highest alert level, prepared for any possibility of an Iranian strike. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The U.S. State Department has a warning for Americans considering a trip to the Middle East.
We have issued more than 30 security alerts to countries in the region and updated the travel advisories for Iraq and Israel. We remind U.S. citizens not to travel to Israel or Iraq and not to travel to Iran under any circumstances.
The agency's travel advisories make recommendations from 1 to 4, with 4 being the highest. These countries are at a level 4. The State Department warns when countries hit the highest level, the U.S. government may not be able to help, including during emergencies. And Israel is bringing back stranded citizens with its first flights coming in this morning. And China is telling its citizens to leave Iran. We now visit with meteorologist Mitchell Coombs. And Mitchell, this weekend in Kalispell, we've got rain, fall potentially coming in. So is now the time to be outside and enjoy that warm weather?
Yes, it is, because we're going to see high pressure and control for today. Northwest Montana, we are going to continue to see those quiet conditions as we head into Thursday. High temperature right around 78 degrees, but you'll notice Friday through Monday, we're talking well below average temperatures. This weekend, 58 and 57, and a big reason for that is the increase in moisture. We're going to be looking at widespread showers and potentially some thunderstorms as we get into Friday, more widespread activity into Saturday. That continues into Sunday. We could even be talking about a little bit of snow in our higher elevations. I'll let you know what those snow levels are like coming up here after the break. Jason.
All right, thank you, Mitchell. Coming up, a Division I athlete is sharing his knowledge with the next generation through a throwing camp. How far some campers will travel to make it all possible. But first, let's take a live look over Missoula above TV Mountain at Snowbolt. Meteorologist Mitchell Coombs has your day planner right after the break.